Take two.
All right, welcome everybody to another session of Mindvalley Heroes. I'm here with our lovely co-host Kerry Fisher to interview another special guest that will bring us a story, one of her, in this case, inspiring stories that she will share with us and inspire us all. And I would like to once again remember everyone, so stories are powerful because stories can really make other people, can inspire other people. And this is one of our core principles here with this event. I was about to say this show, but we can call it a show. Maybe one day. And it's actually to bring here the community and to present, to share a powerful story brought by the own person here and inspire us all. So without any further ado, let's start this. Kerry, you look gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I do want to call it a show. So now it is officially a show. I hope you guys are excited that we now have a show that we created on our own. We decided it was a show, and it is a show. So welcome everybody. Yvonne, it's so nice to see you. And today we have one of my favorite people that I have met through Mindvalley, which is Monica. Monica, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, darling, for this. Thank you for invitation. Thank you for pushing me, because first time I said, I have nothing to say, nothing to share. So, but you insisted, and thank you so much. And I'm so happy to see here my tribes that I meet week by week in the communities that I created. And oh my God, I'm so happy to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
It's so funny because I told Monica that I hope she cries during the interview, but as it turns out, I'm the one who's going to cry. I'm about to cry already. Thank you, Monica. And I'm so glad that you decided to step forward. And that's the thing, you guys. Everybody thinks that, oh, I don't really have a great story, but everybody has a great story. We all have powerful stories to share. And I want to hear every one of your stories. And I hope to interview all of you one day. Yvonne and I would love to do that. Before we kick off, though, I would like to start off this Love Fest by saying that I met Monica through Insights. She was writing Insights and she was commenting on my Insights, and we eventually got on a call, and she actually brought me into the Mindvalley family. She told me about the ambassadorships. I didn't even know about them. And she was just so warm and welcoming. And it was very refreshing for me to meet a woman who wanted to help me and reach out. Usually I'm the one helping people. So it was so nice to have someone helping me for once. And as a matter of fact, she's very similar to me, because when I tried to help her by getting her to come on this interview, she had a hard time saying yes. So say yes, let people help you, help others. And Monica, thank you for bringing me in, because it's been the most beautiful part of the pandemic for me, being part of this community and getting more and more involved. I had always done the quests, but being involved like this has just really added so much, not just to my life, but to my husband's life as well. So thank you, Monica. I love you. And I just want Lawrence to now also just quickly say how he feels about Monica.
Hello, guys. I am so happy to be here for our dear Monica. Monica is the person who inspired me and helped me to believe for myself. That's why I'm here as a Mindvalley ambassador. And every time and then when I think about the word service, it reminds me of Monica. Like, this kind of person really emphasized me of the word service, and I'm so happy to be connected with you all. And yeah, so happy to be here.
See, so Monica has helped. Monica, you've helped so many people. So let me quickly jump to Betty. Betty, I'd love you to unmute. And thank you for coming, Betty.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy I made it. So Monica was also the first person for me from Mindvalley who reached out, who made me want to stay, want to be part of the tribe. With the power of bonus quest, of course, we built a little community within the community, and I think this memory is going to stay with me forever. And she also challenged me and pushed me, and just with her enthusiasm and with her experience and expertise, she helped just so many of us. I'm very, very grateful, Monica. And also, she was the one who brought me to ambassadorship. I haven't thought of it before. It was a wish of mine before, but she was the one who said, okay, this is the opportunity. So if you are interested, you can do it. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I hope that I can meet you one time in person.
Thank you so much, Fer. Thank you.
Monica, are we getting close to the tears yet? Anna, I'd love to go to Anna. And by the way, Monica, I don't know if you saw in the chat, Taz said, I joined Mindvalley and Monica was my door to light. Bless her. Let me hear from Anna as well, and then we'll start the interview. Anna?
Yes, I was a part of Mindvalley for a few months, and then I joined a first call that was like quest call, and I didn't know which quest it is, but like when I saw her light, her energy, like how she communicates with people and everything, I just started joining this group. And like, I think it took half a year. So I actually started the quest, and then I became an ambassador now for that quest because I love it so much. She is just so inspiring, so communicative, so open, and so helpful to all the people there. Doesn't matter which part of the world they are, which profession they have. She always finds this like special words that you feel special and you want to do more. So I'm very grateful to her for everything she teach me and all of us as a unity. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, darling. Oh my God, Kerry, I'm really close to tears. So.
Yes. Success. So the funny thing, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that you shared. And I'm also happy that Monica's about to cry. And I am about to cry too, but we're going to hold it together because we're tough. And the thing I love about Monica is that she is all about action. I believe in action too. And she's very loving and kind, but she'll also push you, which is why we get along really well, because I'm the same way as well. So Monica, let's just dive right into the nitty gritty. Let's jump back to, well, first of all, how did it feel to hear everybody sending you love?
I see Das raised her hand. Can we listen to Das a little
Oh,
bit?
I didn't even see her. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yes, Tess.
Thank you so much, Kerry, for bringing Monica here. And thank you so much, Monica. I can't thank you enough for whatever you have done for me. Without you, I think it was impossible for me to be an ambassador of my region. And thank you so much for your love and light which you showed me during the pandemic. I was completely lost in life and financially as well. And your quest was my door to happiness. You know, I used to wait for Tuesdays like anything, because there you were at 9 o'clock waiting for most of us. And thank you so much. One thing I must appreciate, whenever I needed help, I contacted Monica, and she instantly, I don't know how she managed that, because I know she is doing that for other people as well. She instantly answers you back. If she doesn't have time to type, she will quickly record the message and send you, but she's always there. Thank you so much, Monica, for who you are. Bless you.
You are always melting my heart, really. All your messages are so full of love. Thank you so much. I'm not quick to answer, that's for sure. But yeah, the questions never remain unanswered. Thank you, Das.
That's so beautiful. So Monica, how does it feel? It feels good, right? To hear this?
Yeah, darling, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm melting.
Well, you deserve it. And if you guys don't know Monica and what she does, she is really just everywhere. She's everywhere, all over Mindvalley, helping, and she helps a lot behind the scenes as well, which you might not even know. So what you see that she's doing publicly, she's doing even more than that behind the scenes. So I appreciate you, and we all appreciate you. So let's get into it. Let's start out with, when did you decide to go on a spiritual quest? When did you decide to start focusing on personal growth?
So because you challenged me before with this question, I realized like 15 years ago, I started diving into Osho. I was back then in my corporate world, my corporate job. I was important. After a while, these spiritual practices became very ingrained in me. And then something happened in my life, and it's not, nothing is happened by surprise or by accident. I get into burnout, and then I had a very bad health issue. I was, the lowest point for me was when I was lying on the hospital bed and knowing that I was going to die. And I think that was the moment when I needed to choose, dying or continuing my life in another way. And then my spiritual practices really became stronger and stronger. In the last 10 years, I think I read thousands of books, tried so many things. I cannot talk about something if I haven't tried and practiced. So I'm all about action. So I tried a lot, and the transformation in me right now is because all those practices. And I have been a part of an old yoga school and tantra school, so many deep spiritual practices, secret initiations and rituals. All of these are right now inside of me and part of me. I am embodying all of that. Yeah.
That's amazing. So about 15 years, and then more serious once you had this illness. So let's just take it back a little bit. You were working in the banking field, is that right? Tell me a little bit about your job before you got sick. What exactly were you doing at that time?
It was very important. So I thought, I had a very important job. I was a manager. At some point, I had 500 people in my teams. I was negotiating deals of millions of euros, and I was opening events with the now president of my country. Back then, it was the mayor of my city. So everything, it was about being on the spotlight and being important. But I felt so sad, or so sometimes I was wondering if this is the life, that the happiness that I have been sold. So yeah, I had an amazing life, like amazing holidays and shopping and restaurants and cars, but nothing inside. Yeah.
Wow, Monica, that is so incredible. And I think that the reason it really resonates even more right now is because a lot of people are going through this during the pandemic. A lot of people are looking really deeply at their lives and saying, wow. And I'll tell you that for me, my husband and I, we got married, we had a lot of kids, everything we wanted, all of our dreams, the beautiful giant house, travel all around the world. And when I turned 50, 4 years ago, I was in Israel with my family, and we were walking in the woods, and I came to this clearing, and I had flashback. When I walked into this clearing, I flashed back to a time when I was 20 years old, and I was in another clearing just like that, writing in my journal all the things I had hoped and dreamed for. And when I looked behind me, it was all there. Every single thing I had dreamed was there. And I had that same feeling, Monica. I was like, why aren't I happy then? Everything they told me. So this is what's really, really interesting. And I think a lot of us have had this, and some people so you had already been on a spiritual quest even while you were working, but this moment can sometimes make people go on to a spiritual quest when they're like, wow, I have everything, but I'm not happy. So let's go back now, Monica. Why did you think that having this great job, being a banker, being so important, why did you think that was the way to happiness?
Because this is what I saw in my parents, my culture. So I grew up in a communist country. I was 14 years old when the Berlin Wall broke and fallen down, and the world opened up for us. But I saw my parents, they had important jobs, standard of living higher than other people. So yeah, it's something that I thought that I need to do, I saw in my parents, so that was something that I'm supposed to do or was expected from me. Yeah.
I would love to know a little bit more. What country did you grow up in?
In Romania.
In
And
Romania.
I have so many Romanian friends here.
Yeah, and actually I was speaking with Donna about growing up that way. And it's funny because when you grow, it's not funny, but when you grow up in America, you love Romania because we saw Nadia Comaneci and we just thought Romania was just like the greatest place to ever go. So tell me a little bit more about what it was like to grow up in Romania.
Even now, some people are leaving Romania. There are many of my Romanian friends that are not living in Romania just because Dana and Paula and Andra, Emilia, Emilia is in Bucharest right now, but they are living abroad because it's not a funny place to live. It's not so rich as Western Europe. But I feel blessed. Oh my God, in so many ways, I feel so blessed because of where I live right now. I have so many benefits because we are part of the European Union. But on the other hand, I have freedom. I have nature, very wild nature all around. I have, because we are on an early stage of development as a country, the taxes are not so high. So a lot of benefits. But because of my spiritual journey, I learned to look for the benefits. And for me, wherever I look, I see advantages for me. This is how I live. I'm so happy. The pandemic has been so easy for me, so uplifting, so good. Yeah, in my country, the things were not so bad in my city. So yeah, I feel blessed and lucky that I live where I live right now. I'm surrounded by mountains. I live in Transylvania, guys. So yeah.
That sounds very exotic, living in Transylvania. I would love that. Is that where all the vampires come from? I don't know. Is that right?
Yeah. This is
right?
This is how they say it's a very spiritual land. I always feel now, because I'm more open to feeling the energies when I travel outside the mountains, because Transylvania is surrounded by mountains. When I travel outside the mountains, I feel the shift of the energy. Yeah.
That's cool. So was it like that when you were growing up in Romania? You said that your family had money though. So how was it growing up when you had a certain standard of living and then compared to the other people maybe that you went to school with?
Oh my God. Such strange beliefs that we grew up. And that's why being a coach for many Romanians is much easier, because we grew up with the same beliefs, the comparison and the lack that was happening. And my mom always said to me, don't take the sweets out for the other children to see that you have things, toys. So yeah, that's
so interesting. So on both sides of it, it was difficult. If you didn't have it, it was difficult. And if you had it, it was difficult. All right, here's a very important question. This is the key question of the day. Are you a vampire?
No, I'm not, but for sure I have very, high connections with high spirits. I'm taking this quest, astral projection. And oh my God, yesterday, guys, I was waking up. So I get into that vibrational state, and I was with Osho. So I had a long conversation with Osho, and I get so much, how should I say, he reassured me of my gifts, my value. Oh my God. It was like a friend. He was not like my guide, my mentor, but my friend. And it's so maybe this is coming from Transylvania, the energies are coming from here. But yeah, this is part of my spiritual experience lately.
That's so cool. I'm actually beta testing that one too, and I'm really enjoying it. So now that you brought up Mindvalley and astral projection, let's go back to when you first came into Mindvalley, why you decided to join, and then we'll talk a little bit about your path since you've been with Mindvalley.
As a child, I had also traumas a lot, and I grew up with PTSD and depressions, and I was lucky because in my country never diagnosed me with PTSD. They gave me some pills for depression, but a psychologist will tell you that PTSD is not treatable. But I succeeded not only in overcoming that, but making the journey one of my strongest points in my life. And yeah, sorry, the question. I'm in my loops.
Oh, when did you join Mindvalley and why?
Okay, so yeah, three years ago I joined Mindvalley when I was in a very dark depression. Every 1-2 years I had a big depression for months, so I was in that depression. It's my last depression. Since I was a teenager, I had these conditions. And I had a depression like a few months ago for 2 hours. I realized it's the same feeling. It was so strange, but because I have the tools, because I have everything that I need right now, also the communities, people around me, in 2 hours, I made a shift and also had the big awareness to move to the next level. So yeah, 3 years ago.
Wow. And that's so interesting because that's exactly what it is. We all want to think that we'll just get to this moment where everything is fine and we don't have any problems and all the people around us are like just giving us roses and everything is so beautiful. And there's, in my picture, a lot of glitter, but it's not really like that. It's not really like that. But I like what you said, that you have the tools, and that is what it is. That's what Mindvalley does. It gives you the tools. So you started 3 years ago, and tell me a couple of the quests that really affected you.
First of all, I want to share something. This week we had a meeting with Sierra and Steve from Mindvalley and the other senior ambassadors. And at the beginning of these calls, they always ask us what's alive in us, like a check-in on the emotional level. And as they were sharing, when I came to share, I realized that how I live my life right now. I see earthquakes and hurricanes and tornadoes and floods, and they are all around me, but nothing is touching me, and yeah, that's the joy and the enthusiasm that I'm living my life right now. So I started with Be Extraordinary back then. It was not a quest, so I had no community. And then I joined Marissa's quest, Hypnotherapy for Abundance. Helped me a lot because for 1.5 years, I listened to those recordings every night. This is how I healed PTSD. This is how I healed my insomnia and the anxiety. And I have been an ambassador for the longest time. There I met Tas. I started the circles during the pandemics, I think April or May. And every week I meet with the community. I have 2, 3, 4 calls with the community. So probably more than 200 calls in the last year with the Mindvalley communities.
I love that. And I know that you've been an ambassador for a long time and you give a lot of your time to Mindvalley. So what are some of the best lessons that you've learned from being so closely aligned with Mindvalley?
Uh, because I grow so quickly, the lessons are there all the time. I cannot pinpoint something that is big or huge, or it's growing process, and it's just that I really love what I do. Maybe the foundation has been in Vision's quest, in Be Extraordinary, and that vision for the future and happiness in the now are the foundation right now for my life. So yeah, but lessons, oh my God, I can tell you 100 lessons that I learned only in the last week, and I know next week it will be the same. I'm also like a child, I really love to do everything in a very playful way. Even my business, I like to bring, because I was very serious in my previous life, in my corporate life. Right now, I like to be playful and joyful and bring more excitement to my life. Yeah.
Thank you, Monica. I just wanted to encourage people to please put some questions in the chat for Monica. We will be taking the questions at the end. We just have a few more questions, Monica. So from your lowest moment to, I guess, when you were in that hospital bed until now, what is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned that you can share with us? So for someone who's in that moment where they're at their lowest point, I call it a dark moment of the soul, until where you are now, how do you get out of that?
People, so many people are telling me that in their dark moments, they stay behind and they don't want to interact with others. That's the moment when we need to break our habits, because we don't like ourselves. So we think, why should others like me? That's the moment when they need to reach out. There's another thing that I learned from Kit Ferrazzi. So I've been an ambassador for many quests. Again, I'm evolving, so I'm moving from one quest to the other. And Kit Ferrazzi said about these 3 lifeline relationships. If you have 3 people in your life where you can be at your lowest low, vulnerable, then you can build something exceptional. So if you allow yourself to be in those relationships and show yourself vulnerable and as you are, you can build something amazing. And people are so important in our lives. That's why I built so many communities in Mindvalley, in my business, in Facebook, just because I like to bring people together, what I didn't have, because 3 years ago in that depression, when I was doubting everything, my life, my business, my journey, I didn't know how to reach out to people. And that's why I built those communities, not to let people fail or go so down. I was very close to give up on many things back then. And I know, especially when we are on a spiritual journey, sometimes it's hard, really hard. So yeah, we have each other. We have Mindvalley. Oh my God, that's such a gift.
It's such a gift, because for me, I was always alone reading my books. My books were my lifeline, I guess, for many, many years, because when I was down, I could find something in the spiritual wisdom and all the wisdom of the ages. But I only had a few people throughout my life that I could really talk about this stuff with. So finding Mindvalley for me was just like, wow, there are other people who are interested in this and also on a path like this. And I love what you said, that you were in the hospital bed and you decided if you were going to live or you were going to die, and you decided you would live and to start to reach out to people. By the way, you guys, Monica has built many, many communities, and one of them, her dream circle, Monica, doesn't it have over 1,000 people in it?
Yeah, more than 1,000, and many are here right now.
It's so amazing. And so just think about that. She always felt like she didn't have anyone, and now she has all these communities, and you guys can do it too. Any one of us can do it. That's what Monica's message also is. You just have to do it. And she was willing to do it. So Monica, what is your mission in life?
When we do something with joy and love, we gain life. when we hate something and we do something when we don't like a job, like a career, even a business, we lose life. And in my job, I noticed the difference between when people are putting love into what they are doing and when they were there in the game only for the money. So my mission right now is just to encourage people and empower them to follow their heart, because nothing is worth it. No money, nothing is worth it. I follow money, and yeah, it's nothing in there, really. I see some questions here, and Elise,
Yeah, we're going to go to them in a minute, Monica.
Yeah.
Yvonne is going to take care of that in one more second, but I just have two more questions for you before I
Yes,
throw it to you, Yvonne. So I love what you said about that you want to encourage people to do what they love and that there's no money that's worth that. And Keith and I did that too. We thought, oh, once we have this house or this level of income, and it's just, it never fills you up. That's like a something that you can never quite get filled up. I actually just, let me see if I have it here. I actually just finished reading this book. It's Will Smith's newest book, and he talks all about everything we're talking about. I highly recommend this book because he was the wealthiest, he was the most successful movie star in the world. He had 8 #1 hits, and he had broken every record. He had top albums, and he literally was the #1 movie star in the world. Had a great family, had everything going for him, hundreds of millions of dollars, and he was not happy. And that book is about exactly what Monica's talking about, this spiritual path. So Monica, just tell us a little bit about your business. And then I have one more question, and then we'll throw it to Yvonne.
When I left the corporate world, I had, choice to do whatever I wanted. I had some money and I said, okay, now what? And I tried, because it's hard to start with something, because like children, we like to try. So I allowed myself to try and to play. And I tried a lot. I tried consulting. I even started my own business, food business. So many things. But I realized that in my corporate job, the thing that I loved the most was coaching my teams, because with that, I developed an amazing relationship with them. And also my results really skyrocketed. It was such a, and I remember people from head office were asking my colleagues, what's happening there? How can you have these results? And they were just very candid saying, it's just coaching. But people from head office, my bosses, didn't believe it, because it was, no, it's not possible. Maybe she's doing something, I don't know. So yeah, that's why I came back to this, to my way of doing coaching, because in the last years, since I started going into coaching last 4 years deeper, I developed my own style of coaching. So I combine everything that I am and everything that I know and all my journey, and bringing this transformation, because for me, coaching is transformation. We can do it in whatever way we want. We can take people on, I don't know, on the mountains and bring them back transformed, and that's coaching. So it's that's coaching for me, traveling with people for a while and bringing them a transformation. Yeah.
That's beautiful, Monica. I love it. And you know what? I'm so glad that you decided to step forward and share your story with us. I've been very inspired by you since I've met you, and I'm sure everyone on the call is inspired by your story. And I just wanted to tell you one thing, because you said at the beginning about bravery, about that you felt a little bit nervous. So this is from that book from Will Smith. It says, bravery does not mean the absence of fear. Bravery is learning to continue forward even when you're terrified. So thank you for sharing all of that with us. And now I am going to throw it over to Yvonne for the question session. Yvonne, you ready?
I'm so ready. Thank you. Thank you, Kerry. And I feel very honored to have the opportunity for this, to conduct this Q&A session. Before we jump into the questions, thank you, Monica, for sharing all of this wisdom, powerful wisdom, and very inspiring as well. And by just adding my 2 cents here, I really resonated in that part of your life where you said that you had it all, and you were doing, but you were not being happy, right? You're not feeling happy. And this comes to this concept that we all understand, that it's kind of an illusion. We think that we need to have something, we need to do something, and then we are going to be something. So just by flipping the switch, and what you said, by being happy in the now and having the vision for the future, so flipping the switch and being first, doing something meaningful that gives us pleasure and it's aligned with our values, like you said, and very well. And then, yes, attracting the things and having the things that are also connected with us. So thank you so much for this part. It really inspired me a lot already, and I feel all this energy. Thank you so much. But okay, let's jump into the questions. And today we have a lot of questions. So first things first, I would ask everybody your comprehension, because we have a lot of questions. And we will give you the chance to ask Monica directly the question, all right? And we will have Monica answering. And I would ask, please, everybody to respect everybody's time. We only have time for 1 question, 1 answer, and then we move on to the other, okay? So thank you so much for your comprehension. Let's start. And I believe the first person who asked a question was Sophie Constancias. So Sophie, I think you can unmute and ask the question directly to Monica if you want. Sophie.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, darling.
Hi. It wasn't really a question. It's just a thought that came from my mind, because you were saying how you had that 2-hour window depression. And I've never heard of that before. Like, I have some friends who are depressed regularly, and I know how tough it is for them. And I'm like, and my question was like, have you ever thought of creating a quest for that? Like, to create a program or something that's just really guiding people, helping them to get through that faster? Because 2 hours is short.
Yeah, that's so great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I never thought about that. You know, I'm a business coach in theory. Practically, I help people also with mindset, with I even go to deep therapy sessions with my clients if that's needed, because until we remove the blocks, they cannot move on, you know, or if they have a challenging relationship with their partner, they cannot create the business. So we remove the blocks and then we can move on. But yeah, I never thought this is something new for me, realizing, just connecting the dots, realizing how I heal that depression and how bad the depression is. And someone just asked me a few days ago to write the foreword for a book on anxiety and depression, an ex-client of mine. So that's, the things are connecting. So probably at some point I will put something together on this topic. Yeah. Thank you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophie, for your question. Now, the next person to ask a question would be Rohit, I guess. Rohit Delhi. Please, your turn.
Thank you, Evan. Hi, Monica. How are you?
Amazing.
It's blissful, to be here with you. My question is, you talked about shifting from seriousness to playfulness, joyfulness, and that lightness. So I just want to venture into that detailed part. How did you do that?
So first of all, I want to acknowledge you and Sophie for always being so supportive in the pro community. Oh my God, guys, and in the calls and wherever you are, and I see you, you are always so supportive to this community. Thank you so much, both of you. So Rohit, back to your question. I cannot say what I did. I did so many things. It was, I had some moments in my past that I even end up to emergency room because I was so sick. At some point, I even shared my this story that at some point I tried to travel to Belgium to a doctor, and they didn't allow me in the plane because I was so sick, and they were afraid that they need to land because of me, because me dying on the plane or something like that. So that's the journey. But I cannot say, and even looking to people that are really transforming, my clients, I cannot say that there's something that they did. We do so many things, we combine them. That's the spiritual journey. You know, when we are in school, we are taught that there is one single answer, and we are looking for that single answer. But spirituality and transformation has so many answers. So there is not one quest. Every quest can be transformational if you go deep. It's not going wide, but it's going deep, practicing and practicing and practicing, and a lot of trial and error. That's also the language of the business. No one answer, many answers, but going deep and trying a lot. And that's why action is so important. We are spiritual beings, so we need to have that connection with the divine, but then we need to manifest here in the world. We need to act here in the world. You know, it's my understanding or my experience with the spiritual world is that the spiritual beings cannot manifest here on earth because they cannot lower the vibration. So us people, they manifest through us. We need to be their manifestors here. That's why we need to act. That's why we need to act here on the earth, you know. So yeah, did I answer to your question?
Thank you so much. That was so authentic and so thank you so much, dear Monica. Thank you so much.
Love you so much. Thank you, Rohit.
Thank you so much, Rohit, and great questions, by the way, so far. A pool of wisdom here. Thank you so much. Let's continue. And the next person to ask a question will be Elise Alexander. So Elise, you may ask your question to Monica now.
I just want to start off by thanking Kerry and Monica for everything that you guys have given me. Truly changed my life, given me permission to be myself and to never feel like too much. And I can't ever thank you enough for that, because that is the guiding light that has gotten me started on my journey to know my value and to know my worth. So my question is very much about the financial faith that you have to go from a big paying job of big money to go to Mindvalley, which maybe was new back then and you didn't know. So I would love to know more about that, about how you kept that financial faith.
Thank you, darling, for this question. It's the leap of faith, and we need certainty. And here there's no certainty. And you know what? In my journey, every time I took a leap of faith, the universe gave me the word that I didn't receive the most when I get things, but when I let go, when I had the courage to let go things from my past, people, relationships. When I financially, at some point, I said to myself, if nothing will work, I will sell my house and I will succeed anyway, because I have this ambition in me. And I went all in, you know, because it was not about money. I could do something safer, but for me is the feeling of failure. That's very hard for me to take. I want to fulfill my mission. I want to have a purpose. I want to live my life with purpose, you know, to have, see this enthusiasm that I have right now, this passion for what I do. That's the life I want to live, you know. I don't want to live a mediocre life. And every time the universe paid me so well when I had the courage to let go and to move into new things. Yeah, it's not easy. I know it's not easy.
I'm okay with that, easy.
But the reward is amazing, really amazing. Look, in business, imagine that when you start your business, every second year, it's supposed to double, let's say, or 3 years. The biggest growth will come after 10 years, the biggest profit. So the real benefit in a business will come after 10 years. In the bank, I was a consultant for a few thousand entrepreneurs. Here in my business, I work with many hundreds of entrepreneurs, helping them to build their businesses. So I really know this framework. Yeah, it's working, believe me. As much as you stay in the business and keep going, the reward is bigger and bigger.
All right. Thank you so much, Elise. Thank you so much, Monica, for this, once again, inspiring answer. And we still have a couple of questions to go and more wisdom. I would just like to grab Monica's expression of leap of faith and having the courage, the bravery to do it. And still going on and making the bridge to Kerry's talk about Will's book. And it's like that. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's really feeling that fear and using it and move forward regardless. Actually, there's a great quest in Mindvalley, The Habit of Ferocity by Stephen Kotler. And he talks about that. It's really that. It's the same energy that we feel like when we are afraid, turning that into excitement, and that will propel us to whatever we want to do and having that leap of faith. So that is just awesome that we are actually combining everything here. So great. Once again, great questions, by the way. All right, let's continue. And the next person to ask a question is one of our former guests and also a dear member of our Tribe Storytellers team, Lawrence. Lawrence, your turn to shine.
Yes. So hi, Monica again. So, you know, it's funny to think that the last time we were in the Zoom call was you coaching me because I wanted to be a health coach, and now I am now a health coach. So, you know, I just want you to know that I'm so proud that I can say that I am one of your product, and I'm so grateful for that. And my question to you is, where do you see yourself in 3 years from now, and what are you being and doing?
So I always believe that we can create the future from the level that we are today. And I know 3 years from now, if I'm opening up to the universe, just looking back where I was 3 years ago, I'm amazed where I am today, you know. So I leave the opportunities for the universe to surprise me, that's for sure. But everything is really expanding, and I have in front of me on my office a big flip chart with the things that I want to achieve in 3 years. But I know that this will be achieved in 1 year, because that's how I work. You know, it's 3 years time, but because they are there, the universe will bring me in 1 year. And on that flip chart is a book. And I'm already, when I put it there, I had no idea. It looked so huge. And right now, more than half of the book is written. So yeah, just by magic, the things are aligning and are happening. So I cannot say, but I'm sure something amazing and awesome and involving many people and communities and connection. And yeah, I have somehow an ambition to become the best business coach in my country. So that's one of the things on my list, another one of the things on my list.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Lawrence. Once again, very inspiring. The great questions. Thank you, Monica. And we have time for one last question that also comes from a dear member of our team, Dana. Step in.
Thank you, Ivan. Hello, Monica again. And coming from the same city, I feel you so close to my heart, even though we never met in person. My question goes to the fact that you have supported so many coaches already. And I'm interested, what would you suggest for someone who is just starting as a coach? What steps would you suggest to do?
It's talking with people, many people, coaching for free. At the beginning, just trying to help others. That's what I did. And this is something that I see many other people doing. I have a client, I need to give this example. She was doing Marissa Peer's RTT, not Quest, the certification to become a hypnotherapist. And the course is like 9 months or something like that. And after 2 months, I said to her, why don't you start practicing? But I don't have the certification. Don't worry, you can do that. And until she finished the certification, she had been working like 80 people or something like that. So all those 80 people wouldn't have benefited from her support if she would have been less courageous to do that. So helping people in any way possible, because sometimes I see people are creating the niches, just staying on the couch and or writing on the computer. But the niche will come to us as we coach people, as we help people, as we take people into a transformation. We will realize what's our biggest, strongest point that we can help others. So yeah, that's also for Lawrence. Guys, start practicing. There's such a big word out there waiting for your support.
Wow, thank you, Monica. Thank you. The niche is coming to us. I'm gonna keep this in mind. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dana, once again for your amazing energy and wisdom in asking questions, because this can be very useful for a lot of us, this advice from Monica. So thank you so much. Well, and I'm afraid that we will have to leave the questions for now. However, let me tell everybody that, well, if you want to really ask the question to Monica, you can reach out to her and ask the question, because I believe Monica will be very happy to answer the question to you. And without any further ado, let's just wrap up everything with our beautiful co-host, Kerry Fisher. Your turn.
Thank you, Yvonne. You did such a great job. And I loved all of those questions. Thank you all. And for anyone on the call, Donna will be the interviewee soon, so you can get more of her wisdom. She's very wise. I was on the phone with her for a few hours a week ago, and she has so much good stuff to share. So thank you for all of your questions, and thank you for coming and joining us and really just learning from Monica. Monica, there were so many gems of wisdom. The thing that really stopped me in my tracks was when you said that you don't want to live a mediocre life. And I feel like that too. That's exactly right. And we should all remember that. We're not here to be mediocre. We're here to be the grandest version of ourselves. I like what you said when you said you combined everything you are, everything you learned, and everything you know in order to start to help people. And I think we can all do this. Just like I say to all of you that every one of us has a story to share. Every one of us has a unique combination of skills and talents, and it's needed. You are needed just like you are. And Monica is an example of this. Monica is an example of someone who, like many of us, followed the proper road, did everything she was supposed to, got a great job. She was important. She had everything she wanted, and she wasn't happy in her heart, because we're here to be happy. Lucky for Monica, she had that moment. So one of the darkest moments of her life, when she was laying in a bed deciding, do I want to live? Do I want to die? There's no darker moment than that, you guys. Am I going to live? Am I going to die? She chose to live, but not the way she had been living, because she realized she had not been living. She realized that she now needed to overhaul her whole life. And this is possible for any of us at any moment. And I would say that you should be on a constant path of transformation, just like Monica is. Monica, last question that we always like to leave with. My friend Haji gave us this question and we love it. What does it mean to you to be a hero?
I still don't see myself as a hero, but hero for me means to not give up, especially when it's hard, you know, because the hard days are there, but not giving up and continue to move on, to bring light into the world when it's hard for you. That's being a hero for this world. Yeah.
I love that. And Monica, I'd like to leave you. Would you like to have any last words of wisdom? And you've had a lot of them. So what would you like to leave us with today? And also, how can people get in touch with you? Maybe you want to drop your information in the chat. I promised last time I would be more professional and I would have that, but I wasn't. So if you could put your information in the chat, how people could get in touch with you. And I'd love you to leave us with some last words of wisdom.
I was looking in the room, and I think there are only 2 or 3 people that I haven't met in my calls. So people know where to reach me. I'm on Telegram, and yeah, as I said, I'm not quick to answer, but for sure I will answer. I don't know if I have wisdom, but I have love, and that's all about, you know, this community. Everything that I do, I need to put love into what I'm doing, and to bring love into the world, and to show love to people, and caring and support. And that's my journey about right now. I cannot live in any other way. But to bring and to express love into the world. And every one of us is capable of that. You know, that's the language of the heart. That's as much as we love, the love is expanding. It will never go away. So yeah, loving, it will bring more love to us and to others. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. You are all amazing. Oh, Kerry and Ivan and Lawrence and Anna and Dana, thank you so much for putting this together. And thank you guys for being here. You know, the storytelling, or the stories, Mindvalley story side started 2 years ago. And the first 50 stories I collected one by one from Conscious Parenting Tribe. That was a project that I did with Sierra, and I talk with every person and I ask them if they want to be on that side. That's why I love so much. And right now there are 15,000 stories from people all over the world sharing their transformation journey with Mindvalley. So I really love what you're doing, encouraging people to share their stories and inspiring others. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Monica, I didn't know that you were the one. That's so funny. Monica, you're everywhere. Thank you, Monica. And you know, it's so interesting. There's, what did you say, 15,000 stories right now?
15,000, yeah, from 50. I started with 50,
Wow.
one by one.
Wow. So Yvonne, we're going to need to like get to work here. So that's so amazing. And it's just so cool to share your story. So guys, the way it works is you post to, if someone could drop the link into the chat, you post to the stories platform. And we really want to read your stories, and we love to read them. I love to just go on there and read it. And if you're not aware of it, it's the link will be dropped in 1 second. So go share your story. And then we're taking people and doing panel calls. Lawrence did his first panel call the other day with the health quest, and it was so beautiful to listen to the people sharing their stories. Donna is going to be doing a panel call on the business quest, and Anna is doing a call on the energy quest. So please drop your stories and reach out to us. Drop your stories in the, there it is, stories.mindvalley, and just use that direct link so that we know that you dropped it in there. And we will be bringing people who are interested in sharing publicly onto those panel calls. And of course, we have these one-on-one interviews for the people who are really interested in sharing their story a little deeper. So I love what you said, Monica. When we do something with love, that when we do something with joy, we gain life. That's something we should all think about. That, and Monica, you have a lot of wisdom, by the way. So I just want you to like take that in, that you have a lot of wisdom. I wrote like 50 things down. I could text it all to you later if you want. When we do something with joy, we gain life, Monica. So she also said, put love into what you are doing and bring love into the world and reach out to people. Remember, Monica shared with us that she felt lonely. She didn't feel like she had a tribe, and now she has all of these tribes, and that's possible for all of us. It just takes action. So thank you, Monica. This has been such an honor. I am a little sad you didn't cry, but I'm going to let it pass. I'm almost going to cry. So before I do, I'm just going to throw it over to Yvonne. Yvonne, let's wrap it up.
Well, you ladies can cry if you want, because you can let your emotions out and we will all cry here. Why not? So don't worry about that. Thank you, everybody. And just, by the way, we were talking a lot about stories, just to wrap this up, and Mindvalley and how stories are powerful. Just as a sneak peek into our next call, we are going to bring someone, maybe in the next call or the after, that has been doing what Monica did before as well. So this person has read probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories that are in our platform. So, well, we'll have a very dedicated session of Mindvalley stories with a special person that I believe all of us know. So I would not reveal it yet, or unless Kerry wants. Kerry always wants to reveal.
I always
I
tell
like
all the
surprises,
secrets.
Kerry,
I'm
so, like,
telling.
I'm going to
No,
reveal
you know what?
everything.
I'm learning how to not be in charge of everything. I'm going to bow to you this time, Yvonne. So I'm going to keep it a secret.
Yes.
But we better wrap it fast, because I can't hold the secret for long.
Let's just tease a little bit longer. But okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Monica. Once again, everybody that you came, you had the time, and share the time, your support and your energy in making this call so beautiful and memorable. Thank you all so much. And afterwards, we will also share the recording of this call, so you can always come back to it if you want some more inspiration. Why not? And thank you so much. See you all in our next call of Mindvalley Heroes. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, guys.
Thank you,
Monica.
Carrie. Thank you, Monica.
You
Thank you,
guys.
Ivan. Love you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Monica.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Kerry and
Bye.
Ivan.
Thank you,
Bye,
Elise.
everyone.
Bye,
Thank you, Anne.
Wendy.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye, Monica.